Okay, terms of business. I've done an awful lot of line marking jobs, and I've actually been to court probably 3 or 4 times now, and it sucks. Trust me, it absolutely sucks. The first time I went to court, I took another company that hadn't paid my invoice, and I took them to court and I lost. I lost because I didn't have my terms and conditions agreed. So when we'd agreed a payment term, we'd agreed it verbally, and he said, okay, I'll pay you X on this date. And I went, great, I'll do X and I'll have it delivered by this date. I delivered my part, he didn't deliver his part. And so I took him to court, and the judge said, well, where's your agreement? And I said, well, it's verbal. I agreed this with him. And he said, no, not what we agreed. I had no evidence. There was no formal agreement in writing, and I had no way of proving one way or the other. And so I didn't win my case. I did win a portion of my case, which means I got paid some of the money because I had evidence that I'd done the job, but I didn't get everything we'd agreed because I literally had nothing in place for it. And so I learned a very expensive lesson there. And it was an expensive lesson. And this is an expensive lesson I'm going to teach you, because although I'm giving you a copy of my terms of business, I am telling you now, you need to get a lawyer to write yours as well. By all means, adapt mine, use it, but it is entirely at your discretion. I'm suggesting you get a lawyer, and I'm suggesting you get them to write your terms for you. Now, depending on where you are in the world, if you're in the US, this is going to change on a state-by-state basis, and it's important you get this done right. If you're here in the UK or in Europe, for example, you're okay in the sense that you might only have one set of terms written. You're not going to have to adhere to different regulations in each of the counties, for example, as you would in the US, or different states in the US, sorry. So my recommendation is you get a lawyer. I paid around £1,500, just under $2,000 to have my terms written up. Now, you can do it cheaper. Absolutely you can. In fact, I'm giving you a copy free of charge, but treat them at the price you're paying for them. They're free of charge for you to use. I suggest you adapt them. I suggest you get a lawyer to rewrite them for you. But the important thing here is that you have a set of terms and conditions. These terms and conditions I use now to deliver a couple of $1 million worth of projects every single year, and they have saved me numerous times. I've been to court on 3 other occasions. On every other occasion where the customer has not paid us and I've taken them to court, I've presented the terms and conditions that the customer has signed. Now, that's the important thing. The customer must agree to those terms and conditions, and we get our customers to sign a copy as well as the quote. We do it through PandaDoc, and we give them the quote with the terms and conditions written out in the quote, and they sign both the price and the terms to be agreed, including the payment terms, the most important part. And that's really it. Payment is of the essence. It is the most important part. That's why you're doing this, and that's why I'm suggesting you pay to get some done professionally for you. Now, if you're going to go to a lawyer, one of the things they're going to be doing is researching the specific regulations for the area that you're going to be operating in. They're going to be looking at the key terms, so how you're going to offer a warranty, if you're going to offer one at all, if there's an issue, when you're going to return, what sort of time frame you're going to be agreeing, but also the standards of your work. Is there a set standard you need to achieve? Now, if you've got an ISO 9001 accreditation, it may have a quality policy within it. If not, perhaps that quality policy you might just write into your terms and conditions and say, we would use reasonable measures. We would use reasonable industry practices. And that might be enough to suffice. If you want something more specific, let's say we're going to prepare the concrete by shot blasting every time, write it in your terms and conditions. If you're not going to do that, I would go with something, I wouldn't say vague, but a little less to the point, and say we use best industry practices, which is a little bit of a gray area, because what I consider best industry practice may not be what you consider. And so what you need to do is maybe get some impartial advice at that point, but that's only if you're going to court. Now, these terms and conditions, as I say, we rely on them every single day of the week, every single month of the year, for millions and millions of dollars of contracts, and they have protected us on quite a few occasions. In fact, every time I've had to go to court with these terms and conditions, we've won our case and we've been paid. So grab a copy of them, edit them to make them suit your business needs, and I will see you guys in the next video.